In this video, I'm going to build 3 landing pages that I'm going to be split testing, driving paid Facebook traffic to see which landing page converts traffic into email subscribers best. So why is split testing landing pages important? Why is it worth your time? Well, let's give an example. Let's say you've got 1,000 people that stop by your website every month. And let's say you notice 10 people subscribe to your email list every month out of those 1,000 visitors. Now, what if you just make some simple changes to your landing pages running split tests, and now all of a sudden you're converting 20 out of 1,000 people or 30 out of 1,000 people? Well, you just doubled and tripled your conversion rate, and now you're gonna have more people subscribe to your list every month just because of these simple changes you made on your landing pages. So you truly won't know what works until you run tests. That's your job as a marketer. So that's where we get into today's video, where I'm testing my golf opt-in freebie incentive that I previously was testing in other videos to see which opt-in lead magnet worked best. Now today I'm going to be testing landing pages for this opt-in lead magnet, and now we're going to jump into my computer screen and show you the step-by-step tutorial of how I'm building out my 3 different landing pages. Alright, so first off, you need an email service provider, which I assume you have, but if you don't, I recommend signing up with ConvertKit. I'll give you my affiliate link below. It's asknickfoy.com/CK. That'll take you to ConvertKit. Let them know that I referred you. It'll help credit me a sale if you want to help me out, and again, I'll link to it below. Now, once you sign up for your email service provider, we talked about creating opt-in forms and landing pages and putting those opt-in forms on those landing pages and then driving traffic to those landing pages. So we ran some different tests using Facebook ads to drive traffic. These were the results. I had my putting boot camp, which got the most opt-ins, and it had very similar landing page views as the others. They all were right there around 120 people who stopped by each page. This one got 50 conversions, so it had the best conversion rate. So that's the one we're going to be running with today. So I've gone ahead and come over to my website, golfpracticeguides.com. I logged into my WordPress dashboard and I went underneath the Pages tab. So under my Pages tab, I put the number 1 in front of the title of the pages. Now, I changed the page data on the SEO in my post meta so that it shows up on Google with the proper title, but just on the back end here, I put the number 1 so that I can keep all my landing pages together and quickly go through them and click on them to open them up. So right now, I started with this basic landing page here, the 7-day putting bootcamp. This is the one that I drove all of my Facebook traffic to. So it's a little 2-column. It's got a column over here with text and then a second column over here that splits the page down the middle. So you can think of these as half columns. So this one here has got the opt-in form I've embedded. And then we've got some social share buttons down here so that as this page gets shared on social media over time, it'll help add some credibility and hopefully increase some opt-ins as well. All right, so now I've set up 2 brand new pages right here. They're blank canvases. We're gonna begin designing 2 other landing pages in this video. And then once the product's done, we're gonna start promoting all 3 of these landing pages, which promotes my 7-day putting bootcamp over on Facebook again. I'm gonna set up brand new Facebook ads promoting traffic to go to each of these 3 landing pages. And we're gonna see the results in a few days. Once I drive about 100 visitors to each landing page, we'll see if there's any clear-cut winners. All right, so let's get started building our second landing page here. So we'll call this the 7-day putting bootcamp landing page 2. And again, I want to put a little 1 dash in front of it so that it groups it together with all my other pages. Now, I'm using the Avada theme. So if we come out here to my browser and you want to check it out, you can use, again, my affiliate link to help credit me. Just go to asknickfoy.com/Avada. And that's going to open up Theme Forest, which is the website where I buy themes for my websites. And currently, I'm using the Avada theme because of its Fusion page builder tool that allows me to create custom landing pages. So I don't have to spend any money on landing page software like Lead Pages or ClickFunnels. Instead, I just pay this one-time $60 fee to buy this theme, and that's how I built out my website, creating custom pages. So once you install the Avada theme, and I've got more tutorials all about the Avada theme and how to set it up in my YouTube playlist, if you go to my YouTube playlist for the Avada theme. Now inside this page here, you can see the Fusion Page Builder button. So right now by default, we have the default page editor here, but I'm gonna go ahead and click on the Fusion Page Builder, and it's gonna open up the tool that's gonna let me start building my page. So we wanna come here and pick out a container. So this is gonna be what houses your different columns. So previously I used the 1/2 container. Now for this landing page, I think we're gonna do a 1/6, 2/3, 1/6, so that we're gonna align all of our content down the middle here with spacers on each side of 1/6. So first element we wanna do, we're gonna do a photo to try to build some credibility so that somebody sees my face, and that should hopefully help, build a connection there when they can actually see what I look like and who they are buying from or who they're subscribing to if you're gonna set up a sales page or an email opt-in page. So we'll come here to the media library and try to find a photo of myself holding a golf club. All right, so we've got this one right here. We're gonna go ahead and pick our size. So I'm gonna go ahead with the Avada Grid 400 by 444. You wanna make sure it's got some alt text for SEO purposes in case, that you ever want this landing page to rank in Google. So we could just type golf tips, so maybe it shows up for golf tips. So we'll go ahead and click insert into page. Now that's gonna put it into this image element here under the Avada theme. Now I wanna come down here and look at some of the different settings. So first I wanna make sure my image is centered. And then if you wanna give it a light box or anything else, they've got an image alt text tab here as well. So we'll go ahead and add in golf tips. Now if you wanna link out your picture to something, you can link it here, but we don't need to in this case. It's just an image that's gonna be embedded into my page. We'll go ahead and click save. So that's step number one. Step two, I want to give a text box so that I can start the headline or my call to action. Now, one other thing we could do here is we could just copy the exact same copy on the page. That way we're just testing landing page design and not so much landing page copy. There's so many different elements that go on a landing page. You've got types of forms, you've got the button text, you've got the headline, the sub headlines, you've got the layout and design of the page. So there's lots of things we could split test, but I guess to keep testing purposes similar, let's just keep the exact same copy since that converted at a high rate in my previous video. All right, so when we come back here into the landing page, let's go ahead and paste that in. It's a heading 2, we want to center it. So that's all good to go. We'll go ahead and click save. Next, let's go ahead and get another text box that we're going to use for all that bullet points. So we'll come back over here, we'll copy all the bullet points. All right, so we'll go ahead and paste those bullet points in there and click save. Now, one more step we're gonna need to do real quick. The image and the text always kind of sit too close to each other. So we're gonna use a separator tool just to give them a little bit of space. So we can go ahead and we wanna choose no style because we don't want any lines or anything to show up, and then we'll pick some margin. So we'll give it 15 pixels, usually is just a little bit of space there. So I'm going to put that between the image and my headline to give it a little space. Now lastly, we want to add a code box so that we can paste in our embed code for our email opt-in form. So let's head back over into ConvertKit. All right, so I've opened up my form that we were previously using on the other landing page. And all we're gonna do now is we wanna create a brand new form because we wanna reset our stats back to 0 on a brand new fresh slate. So we're just gonna create a duplicate. So we can go down here to other options inside of ConvertKit, click duplicate this form, and it'll copy everything on that other form. So we don't even have to make any edits to it except the name here. So we'll call this the Golf 7-Day Putting Boot Camp, and we'll call this Facebook 2. That way I know it's the second version. We'll go ahead and got to re-upload the image again. All right, so I added in that photo. Everything's good to go. Now we just need to go back into the settings here where we can go copy the new code for this one. So we're going to go down here to the embed tab right here, and it's going to give us this code. So we'll copy it, head back over here into the landing page, paste it in, click save. And now we're ready to publish this page. The only other thing I need to do is make it 100% width. So under template here, we're gonna choose 100% width. I also wanna get rid of my header. So as you saw over here, there was no menu bar, nothing. It just takes away all distractions from them. So we've just got the landing page here with no header. So I need to come down here into my page editor box, called Fusion Page Options, and under header here, I can just turn it off, so no header. And then lastly, we want to pick our page margins, so we'll go ahead and give 20 pixels at the top, and we'll go ahead and do 10 pixels at the bottom and see how that looks. We may be updating that. So let's go ahead and click preview now. It'll open up the page and we can take a look at how this landing page turned out. Alright, so once the page loads, we can see a photo of me holding the club. So that's how that turned out. We did put some space here between me and the start of the headline. So we could adjust that a little bit if I wanted to, shrink the space here. I'm not sure I quite like how much space there is there. Then we've got the main headline here, which we centered. I might align it back left just so that it kind of overhangs the bullet points. But you can see the bullet points there with the call to action. And then we've got the form down beneath that. So this is what it looks like to a desktop user. They hit the page, see a photo of me, start to scroll down, read what their putting bootcamp is all about when they join, and then they see the opt-in form. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like on mobile. Alright, so for mobile, all we got to do is just shrink in our browser screen and it'll resize everything. So again, they hit the page, first thing they see on mobile is a photo of me. They start scrolling down and see the call to action headline, the bullet points, and then the opt-in form shrinks down into a vertical form instead of a horizontal form. So it's responsive, it looks pretty good. So this is the second style landing page design we're going to roll with. It's a little bit different than our first one, which just looked like this with no photo of me. It was just the headline, the text, and then the form here. And then on mobile, it looks pretty similar to this landing page. The only difference is now I've stuck a photo of me on top of everything instead of starting the page off like so. So that's the only real difference between the mobile versions of these two landing pages, is just seeing if a photo of me helps add more credibility and gets a higher conversion rate. Alright, and landing page number 3, we'll go ahead and again give it a 1, call it a 7-day putting bootcamp landing page 3. And then we're going to head down here again to the Fusion page builder, and we're going to add in a container. This time I'm going to do 1/2 columns again to start off. So we're going to start the left side with an image this time instead of all the text and the headline that we did on landing page number 1. So let's find the image box here. Let's go ahead and click upload image. Find the image of me again, click insert into page. We're going to want to center it for now and see how it looks. We might come back and adjust it. Give it some alt text, call it golf tips again, and go ahead and click save. So the image will show up on the left side this time. Now on the right side, we're going to go ahead and do some call to action. So let's go ahead and get a text box. Alright, so then we went back over to landing page 1, copied everything again, pasted it in here. We'll go ahead and click save. Alright, and last we're going to include a button this time, a pop-up button instead of the form. That way we can differentiate the page a little bit more. So we're going to click the Elements tab, and instead of using the button or the image, I'm actually going to use a text box. So I'm going to scroll down here, select the text box. Now I want to go over to this other tab. I've already set up another landing page where I was using this pop-up style button, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy the code to save some time. So under the text tab here, we pasted in the embed code for the opt-in form, and then we have this other code that combines the image with a click or a pop-up code. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a second, but just to save time, I'm going to go ahead and copy this one, bring it back here and paste it. Alright, so what we need to do is head over here to the text tab. So I'm going to delete this out because it won't work right. We're going to repaste it back in. So first we need to grab the opt-in form embed code. So I'm going to come back into ConvertKit again, and we're going to need to go here to other options. We're going to need to click duplicate this form again. Alright, we're going to retitle this Facebook 3 so that we know this is the third style of form we're using, and I'm going to add that picture again. Alright, click save. Once all the settings are changed, our form looks the exact same as the other forms on the other landing pages. Now we're going to go into settings again. This time we're going to go to the style tab. Instead of doing the full inline form that we've been doing where we just embed it into the page, we want the pop-up one right here. So we're going to go ahead and checkbox this. Now you can make it exit intent, but we want it to be under scroll percentage, and we want to make this 100%. So that it doesn't show up if they scroll the page. We just want it to show up once they click on the button. So it's going to tell you right here. You can also trigger this with a link. Simply add this code here to your link and set the href to this. So they basically give you some example text here. So you can go ahead and copy this. And when we come back here into the text box, I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here so you can see what it looks like. So right here is the code they're telling you to add into the page here. So I've already done that here previously on my other one. So I'm going to show you where it's at. So again, this is the exact same code right here. So the ahref equals, so right here, click model, and then we have the rel equals click model. So that's how we set it up here. It's a little bit backwards. This is if you're making like a pop-up link, then you would copy this one in. But since we're using it in an image, I had to go on Google and find the right code for images. So this is the introductory code you got to add before the image starts. So if you want to, pause the screen and write this down, it's the bracket symbol, a space, and then href equals. Then they have some quote marks with this. This is again if you're using ConvertKit. It won't work if you're using another email service provider. So we paste in this code, and then the next code after that is just your image code here. So this is just simply comes from going to add media. So all I would do is go to add media. I would find that little button image and I'd click insert, and it would insert this code. And then on the visual side, it would look like this button here. All right, so now that we got the proper code there for the button image itself, now all we have to do is make sure we get the right embed code for the right opt-in form. So we just created a brand new opt-in form, so we'll come back here. Now I want to go ahead and click Save Changes right now just to go ahead and save what I've already done. And we'll paste it in here, getting rid of this other opt-in form code that went to a different landing page since I copied it over from that page. So now we've got the brand new embed code so that it tells the ConvertKit trigger that it's triggering this form. So we pasted in that embed code. We set up the trigger code here right before the image code so that it knows that when they click on this image to create a trigger that makes this form pop up. So it's kind of 3 different pieces of code you need here under the text tab. So we'll click save, and then let's go ahead and adjust the settings again for this page. So under template, I make mine 100% width. I need to turn off auto inserting a ConvertKit form, so we want to make this none. That way there's no ConvertKit form on the page other than the one I just updated up in the text box. Fusion page options, again, we need to turn off the header to no so we can keep everything consistent. We'll try to do about 20 pixels again, and we'll do 10 pixels and see what that looks like again. And then everything else is good to go. Again, if you want to optimize it for SEO, you can use the Yoast SEO plugin. This is how it would look on Google. So I can give it a custom title here so that it gets rid of this ugly 1 dash before. So I would just come here to edit snippet, and we'd call this the 7-day putting bootcamp series or landing page, whatever you want to call it. Now in this case, I actually want to turn this off, so we're going to go here and turn off indexing. I don't want this landing page to show up in the search engines because I just want Facebook traffic to find it and not Google traffic. That way we can just test Facebook only. So we're going to go ahead now and click publish and take a preview of what this page looks like. Alright, so we'll head out here and take a look at this landing page. So now I've got my photo of me next to it. We've got our headline here with the bullet points, and now we've got this button. So let's go ahead and click on it, and it creates this pop-up so they can enter their information and click the Start Lesson 1 button, and that's going to opt them into my 7-day putting bootcamp. So everything's working right. We can click back out. We'll click the button again to make sure it still works. So everything looks like it's functioning properly. Our page design looks good. If I wanted to, I could space out a little bit between this text and the button, but I think everything looks good here. For somebody landing on desktop, they can see everything without having to scroll down. So that's good. And then let's take a look at it on mobile. All right, so on mobile, we'll just size this in a little bit to shrink it down more like a mobile phone size. And again, it's going to start off putting me first since I was on the left side of the screen on desktop. That's what the side starts everything on mobile. So I start at the top. As they scroll down the page, they see the headline with all the text, and then they got the button here they can click on, which will pop open the form for them to input their information. Alright, so we already created landing page number 1 in a previous episode. We ran Facebook traffic to it and compared it to other opt-in incentives. So this was the winner. It converted this page at about 38-39%. So that's kind of our benchmark. We're also going to keep running ads to it and see if it maintains that rate. But in the meantime, we created landing page style number 2, where it starts me off with a photo on top. They can scroll down the page then to see the text and the form. I'm not a super fan of this on desktop mode. I know on mobile they have to do it like this. This is how it's going to look on mobile. But for desktop, I like to maximize the space above the fold, meaning the space before they start scrolling. So one thing I might do is kind of redo it like we did landing page number 3, where I put the picture off to the left, then we've got all the text off to the right, and then we have the form. In this case, we changed landing page 3 to a button that pops open instead of, the scroll down here where they'd have this opt-in form. So that may be the only difference, but in the meantime, I'm going to leave this page as is. And again, if this page happens to be one of the best performing pages, then we can split test whether it matters to have the button or the form. So I could create an identical page that looks just like this, and we'll just put the form in instead of the button. But I think the button is going to probably end up getting more people to click on it and opt in than just having the form embedded into the page. But you never know. That's just my prediction. We're going to run Facebook ads and test it out. All right, so to set up Facebook ads, I would come back here into my ads manager, and I would want to keep probably the same exact ad set, and we'll just go inside and start customizing brand new ads. So again, I'm probably going to turn on this ad that we ran before, the putting bootcamp, but this time we're just going to create a duplicate of it. This way we can just create a brand new test where we're going to create 3 different versions of this ad. So we want to make numbers of copies set to 3. We're going to create 3 brand new Facebook ads pointing to all 3 of those landing pages that we set up. So existing campaign, existing ad set. The only thing we're doing here is just creating 3 duplicate copies of the ad. All right, so the next step's pretty straightforward. I'm keeping everything the same. The only thing we're testing here is the landing pages. So all 3 of these ads are going to run the exact same copy. We're going to keep that all the same. All we're going to do is switch out the website URL so that each of these 3 ads takes them to the 3 separate pages. So all I'm going to do is come back in here, copy paste the URL for landing page 1, go back into the ad, paste it in there, click publish. Then I'm going to go into ad number 2. We're going to go to landing page number 2, copy its unique URL, head back here again, paste it into ad number 2, and I'm going to repeat this process for all 3 of these ads so that each one links out to the 3 different landing pages. Everything else we're keeping the exact same, all the copy, all the photos. All they're going to do is just click the link and it's going to test traffic to 3 different pages. So we're going to keep the ad set, everything else the same, so that we're still targeting the same people on Facebook. And then we're just going to split that traffic up into 3 different pages. And then I'm going to come back in a few days and show you guys the results. So make sure you stay tuned for that video. In the meantime, you can do 2 things. Number 1, you can head back here to my channel, make sure you're subscribed, and you can start watching different videos in my playlist. And number 2, for those of you that are looking for more advanced training material where I go more in depth and show you all the different systems I'm using, you can go to my courses, asknickfoy.com/courses. Some of you learn better when you've got all the videos compiled together in one location. So I've got 4 different courses here, but for you, you're probably most interested in the Profitable Blogger course, which is going to show you how to set up your blog, get it optimized, get your system set up in your email software, start creating your first product to promote and sell. It teaches you everything inside of this course. And then once you set up your courses and your website, you can come here to Traffic Growth Step 2, where you can learn more about profitable Pinterest traffic, showing you how to drive free traffic from Pinterest back to your website, to your landing pages. Right now, I'm using Facebook ads to quickly send traffic to test these pages. Once I get them all optimized and tested, then I'm going to rely on Pinterest and Google traffic as my 2 main traffic sources for growing my email list. So again, you can check out these different courses I've got. If you find my content on YouTube valuable, we've got lots more advanced trainings inside of these courses that we don't cover on the YouTube channel, and I show you step by step how I'm doing certain things in my business inside of these courses, in addition to some of the videos I'm putting out here on my YouTube channel. So again, thank you so much for being here, for checking out this video. Those of you that watched it all the way through, I appreciate your dedication to learning and getting better at your online business. I hope these tips helped you. If you found value, I would appreciate a thumbs up on this video to tell YouTube it's important so that they can show it to more people.